I was Dave. I was the reason we all had a job.
I'm Ben Smith. I played Louis Driscoll.
Jason Strickland and played Scott Green.
I thought your character's name was Jason for some reason.
That's so funny, really?
Shows you how much attention I was paying. I'm Larissa. I played Alex Mack. Hi, I'm Natanya Ross, and I played Robin Russo.
I'm Darius Love. I play Raymond Alvarado.
I'm Ken Lippman. I was the co-creator and head writer of The Secret World of Alex Mack.
I'm John Barzilli. I cut him off. It's all right.
No, it's fine.
Because I met him in the theater. He's a terrifically talented person who wrote Vince Carter for me.
And this is our 20-year reunion.
Yeah, this is insane.
So it's been forever since we all saw each other and seen each other, and this love is just amazing.
Not only was Alex Mack his creation, his birth, but so many other shows that you guys all love. So now you finally get to see the face of the brain behind actually 20 plus years on Nickelodeon. Tommy, give us a list of shows you created, brother, please.
Well, after that came Alex Mack, Alan Strange, New Jersey, Caitlin's Way, Just Deal, Make It Pop, The Other Kingdom, Boom, 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 Scout Safari, let's go.
It didn't surprise me that he became as big a star as he is and as big a success as he is, because his man thirsts for knowledge and for experience, and it was a joy to work with him. He was a pro right after day one, just a pro.
What's important is that you have great examples. You know, there's no I in team effort. And more importantly, to have the right personas to be able to follow and understand the craft in itself and understand the preparation that goes into it. Being a kid, you don't really understand the structure of things.
See, I haven't seen him in 20 years. I really have not. And you know what he had? He had enormous respect too for the power he was talking about. He was so polite and so respectful of what he was asking of the craft and of anybody who knew more than him.
Do you hear this voice? Do you hear this voice? I mean, the menacing voice, but the gentle love and heart. If you only knew, John has always been a gentle man. And a man that has presence. That you cannot coach, that you cannot teach. Either you're born with it or you're not. So stay tuned behind the scenes of the Alex Mack reunion 20-year return.
We're going to bring out the cast of Alex Mack.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Gotta get hyped tonight.
Hype this up. Come on, you guys. Come on. We're talking 20
All you
years.
guys, come closer.
20 years.
Come closer. All right. First, and I already know you guys know this name. Coming to the stage, Larissa Arnett.
Put it together. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
Put it together.
Yes.
Second, coming to stage.
Oh, yes. Second, this is my brother right here. Everybody put your hands together for Darius Love. Yeah. Let's do it.
Third, coming to stage, my homegirl, Natanya Ross.
Put it together. Put your hands together. Yes, 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 yes.
Number 4.
All right, 4 we got coming out right now. Jason Strickland, everybody. Put your hands together for Mr. Jason Strickland.
Number 5, my homegirl too, Alexis Fields.
Yeah. Put your hands together. This is about to be we about to enjoy this. Feel like to enjoy this. Let's see who number 6 coming out. Okay, everybody put your hands together for Mr. Ben Smith, everybody. Put your hands together for Mr. Ben Smith.
7th coming out, John Barzilli.
Yes. Put your hands together. All right, and number 9. We got number 8. That's right. Number 8 coming out, everybody. Put your hands together for Mr. John Nilsson. John Nilsson, everybody. Put your hands together. Last but not least.
Dorian Levinson.
Yeah!
Dorian.
You know, this was Mom right here. She played the mom on the show, everybody. If you know, you know.
How awesome is this? Come on, show them how much your hands that they're
Put your hands together. The Secret Life of Alex Mack, everybody. We in here.
It's the return. 20 years.
Let's give it up for actually everybody y'all don't know. This is one of the coolest two hosts in the land. Let's give it up for our friends, our family.
Thank you.
From 90s is back, Angelique Banks.
Yes.
Appreciate you guys.
Oh, no doubt. We having a good time today.
Okay, well, we already know why we're here.
Yeah.
Enough about us. It's all about them.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we're going to go ahead and get into the questions. First question. How did you guys get the role? Do I need to pass the mic?
Hi.
Hi guys, so nice of you to be here on a Sunday. I'm so excited to get a tan. It was an audition, just a normal audition during pilot season or like summer pilot season, whatever that was. And I think I went through a couple rounds and yeah, that's me.
Well, mine was untraditional, and my mic sounds very good. Actually, Larissa is actually better looking, and I sound a little bit louder. That's the only difference. But first and foremost, my way of getting Raymond Alvarado, which was her best friend, and I played in a Black History play, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, MC Hammer, and James Brown in one play.
What?
And Nickelodeon, which is Kenny Knuckles, Ken Littman, and Tommy Lynch themselves came to my junior high school. And they said, we want to audition this kid. And the best thing I ever did was that I had already auditioned for the show, so I had all the lines memorized, and I didn't tell them. I looked at it, gave it to them, and said, I'm ready. They said, you're ready? I said, yeah, I'm ready. I had it memorized. Laid it down for them, one take. They said, can we take you to our headquarters to meet Tommy Lynch, the CEO and the founder of Alex Mack? I said, my dean said, sure, take him. He's always ditching drama class anyway. He's going to do something right. So I end up going. Come to find out, I auditioned for Tommy Lynch, and they loved me, and they already shot the pilot with Larissa, and they had a 5-year contract. And next thing you know, before I got home back to my mother in Watts, I was casted on A Secret World of Alex Mack, and it changed my life forever.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Look at God.
Yes.
Wow.
Hi guys. Oh, this is so cool. Oh my gosh. How I got the part of Robin Russo, I actually auditioned for the original pilot that was shot for The Secret World of Alex Mack. And then there was just a little bit of recasting, and I auditioned again and didn't get the part. But they called me back for this character named Robin Russo. And I auditioned, and it was originally supposed to be, I think, 3 episodes on the show. Tommy and Ken would know, where are you? Yeah, it was supposed to be a 3-episode arc, and by the end of the first season, they offered me this reoccurring role, which turned into a regular role, and it's probably the thing I'm most proud of in my career. So, yeah, that's how I got my part.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for being here. So yeah, how I got Scott Green on The Secret World of Alex Mack. Thank you guys. Yeah, I was Alex Mack's first crush on the season, but basically I was able and fortunate enough to audition for Tommy Lynch and also Ken Littman, the creators and the producers who are here with us, guys. So give them a round of applause.
Put your hands together.
We love them so much. They did this really cool show. So this is awesome, guys, because this is the 90s, right? So you guys remember Kids Incorporated? Kids Incorporated?
Oh, yeah.
So they had me on their last season, on their last show of their last episode. And that's where I was discovered with them to audition for The Secret World of Alex Mack. But you guys got to go and check out that last season. I actually play a homeless kid. So I went from a homeless kid to the love interest on Secret World of Alex Mack. So it was so much fun, and that's how I was able to get the role, very gratefully, for The Secret World of Alex Mack.
Hi. Hello. So I'm the mama. I'm Doreen Lapinto. I play Barbara Mack. I came in as the second Barbara Mack, the recasting. That's what somebody told me. And I remember coming into audition for the gentlemen standing over there who are trying not to make believe we're not talking about them right now. And I had heard that they didn't want a blonde. They wanted a brunette. So I took my resume picture with a brown magic marker, and I just covered my hair. I did, and I said, I can do this. I can go brunette. It's all okay. Just, let me know. And they said, no, you're fine, you're fine. I ended up auditioning with Meredith, who plays Annie, because Larissa was already the star. She didn't go in the auditions for the other parts. Joke. So easy. You're so easy. So I was auditioning with Meredith, and Meredith put her feet up on a hassock or a chair. And I walked into the room, and I took her legs, and I went, hey. get your feet off my furniture. And I think they realized that I sounded like a normal mom. I actually have 5 kids, and they're all right there.
Wonderful.
Wave your hands. One of them was even on the show when he was 3, and now he's in the Army. Raise your hand, Second Lieutenant. Come on.
Wonderful.
Anyway, I think they liked that I was a real mom, and I sounded like a real mom. Although sometimes they told me I had to tone it down a bit. I was a little too.
Dorian was always fixing my hair. Like a mom. Like a mom. Like
That's
just being
awesome.
like, put it behind your ears.
I am Alexis Fields, and I played Nicole Wilson for the 2 people who probably remember her. I got the part by auditioning, and I'll never forget Joey Paul, who was the casting director. I was awful, and she stuck with me and kept letting me start over. I couldn't get the word cupcake out. I'll never forget it in my life. To this day, I see cupcakes, and I'm like, ah! But I couldn't get the word cupcake out, and she kept bearing with me and gave me a call back, and I went and auditioned for the big guys over there. And I'll never forget that Tommy, when I was finished with the audition, he said, "We just found our Nicole Wilson." So I knew before I got home.
Awesome.
I'm Ben Smith. Good heavens. I played Lewis Driscoll. Yeah, mine's not much of a story. It was just another audition. I used to go to them every day, and I went and did it, and had no idea what a fateful moment it would be for me. So that's it.
Hi, I'm John Marzilli. I played Vince, head of security for Daniel Atron. And this is my son Jake behind me too. He's and my manager. But I met the writer producer Ken Lippman in the theater. We had developed a relationship in the theater. I did a play for him, and he's just a genius. He's a fantastic man, and he told me when we met each other that he was going to write me a part and he was going to take me along with him, and he kept his word. And
that's very unusual in the Hollywood business,
very
by
unusual.
the way.
Absolutely.
You will meet Kenny Knuckles, a.k.a. Ken Lippman, very shortly, people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So it's been I got to say, though, that I did meet the other mother and the other sister. And you know what? It's really amazing when a show is being put together how important chemistry is. And it really wasn't there until Dorian came on and Alex's sister Meredith. And when they came in, this show just clicked. All the players just made sense.
And Darius wasn't in the first episode either, which is like no disrespect to any.
Darius is pure chemistry wherever he goes.
Exactly. Darius could have chemistry with a tree.
Pure. I could talk for an hour about Darius and what it was like when he was a young man and how thirsty he was for knowledge and what he wanted to do and he just asked so many questions, and then he'd go out there and bang it out in the first take like a seasoned pro. Really terrific stuff. So appreciate y'all being here today. You're up, Johnny. Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm John Nielsen. I played Dave. Same here. As John Marzilli, we were all in a theater company, and Ken was an amazing playwright who created the show and basically said, I have a role for you. I want you to come in and meet the director of the pilot. And I went in, and the director and I sat and talked for 5 minutes and said, okay, you can do this, which was a wonderful way to audition for a role. I mean, this role, my God, I mean, it wasn't really like anything I had done before, but luckily Ken saw something in me that knew that that would work, and the fact that John and I would match up the way we did, I think made all the difference. I was also, like Robin, I was only supposed to be in the first episode, and I guess they thought, Vince wasn't funny enough, so they decided to pair him up. So that's it, but thank you for coming out.
Okay, so the second question, what are you guys doing now? You can start that way.
Yeah, start the way. We'll go back. It's like the wave.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm still acting. I act. I've been pretty fortunate. I've done some big movies. I've done a couple of Clint Eastwood movies. I did a second Transformers movie. TV stuff, TV various episodes. But like I think many actors, although it took me a long time to realize this, I started writing. So I started writing about a year ago and finished the script, which I've gotten some great feedback on, and I just started a second script. And I don't want to stop acting, though. I love the collaborative makeup of acting. Writing is very difficult, sitting in front of a computer by yourself.
Yes.
But apparently I have stories to tell, so that's what I'm doing now, as well as auditioning.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I have been, what have I been doing, Jake?
He has been helping me, and yep.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
You know what? I still act. I act in the theater, but a few years ago, when I became Jake's dad, I pulled away from a lot of things because he needed me, and so thank
Yes,
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Put your hands together for that,
I
everybody.
appreciate
That's
that.
awesome.
And you know what? He's given me so much more. So it's really incredible being his father. That's really what I do, and I have a lot of other interests, but I continue to act, and but it's mostly in the theater now.
I still work on set. I do props and set decoration now. I kept acting for a year or two after the show, and then I walked away from it all and went out and did a bunch of other things, and then found my way back into this business. So I'm still around.
Wonderful.
I am an interior designer now, which I love. It's a huge passion. Sorry.
She's awesome.
Thank you very much. And I have 2 beautiful babies with my husband, Kevin. I acted a lot after the show, did a lot of shows, but interior design just called to me. I do miss acting. We'll see. But for now, interior design and my babies and my husband.
Wonderful.
Well, let's see. I had 4 kids. I met my husband back in 92, 93. Went on the show in 94. He had 2 kids, I had 2 kids, all under the age of 6. We got married, and we had a 5th. So we have a yours, mine, and ours. So I've been a little busy taking care of 5 kids, but produced a play and started with John Marzilli, produced a play and started with Meredith, Annie. Same thing everybody's doing, web series, commercials, TV shows. Where are the writers here? Oh, we're still available. We still look great, right?
Thank you. Oh, amen to that. Amen to that. So, after a lot of acting kind of growing up, teen acting and some adult acting, 20 to about 24 years old, I went back into school, and I knew that from a young age I wanted to direct and produce. And so I finished up my schooling and started my production company, and so I'm very grateful. I direct a lot of the TV commercials now that you guys see, from, Baskin Robbins to GoDaddy spots, the Danica Patrick stuff, Magic Mountain, our national spots for Magic Mountain now, and just a lot of different TV commercials. And Hyperloop, I even worked for the FBI this last year on videos for them. So it was just a whirlwind of great getting that chance to work behind the scenes. So I now want to work into TV and to do some films. So if you guys know of a show worthy enough to reboot, I would love to direct that show. So just so you know.
What have I been up to in the last 20 years? That's a long freaking time. I stayed acting for a long time after Alex Mack, for probably, I'd say, about 7 years after that. And then I took a little time off to figure out who I was. There are so many challenges of being a child actress, a child star, and man, I had to figure out what was really going on. So that's what I did. I took some time off to figure out who I was. The last 10 years I've been working in the industry of mental health, which has been really fulfilling. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. But about a year ago, I made a decision to start acting again. So yeah, I woke up one morning and it was just calling me, and I knew that I had to pursue that again. So now I'm acting again, and here I am. Yeah.
She's also producing. She's the very reason why we're all standing here. We're gonna give her a shout out.
my 20-year journey, I'm gonna make this an elevator pitch because it's quite a journey to those who know me, especially the misses in the audience. I was blessed and fortunate to have Magic Johnson mentor me and became my business manager at the age of 16 while I was on Alex Mack. Because of Alex Mack, I was able to help move my family out of Watts and realize the importance of success. It's responsibility. It's responsibility to not just yourself, but those that look up to you, like you guys, right? It's that was the one thing I fell in love with acting, was that I got to connect with so many people and be able to inspire them. I call it motivational ministry. From working with Magic Johnson, I invested in a water company, a natural alkaline source water. It was Forbes' fastest growing water source in 2004, Trinity Springs. And from that venture, I was able to invest into a project called Kids Feeding the World. It was a nonprofit with a food therapy product that provided 22 essential amino acids and omega-3s in a 2-ounce serving that didn't have to be cooked for 50 cents. So we would challenge children to donate 50 cents to feed 1 million kids a day by donating just 50 cents a month, $6 a year. We fed 2.5 million people during Hurricane Katrina through the Red Cross. From that venture, I was able to invest into a mineral company that comes from the Great Salt Lake. It's called Ionic Minerals. And these minerals are able to create a homeostasis state in the body. And what that means is no what you call inflammation, which is the root of all sickness in the body, lives. These minerals are ionically charged. It creates a negative ORP. It's over 79 of the ionic minerals that are allowed to give you an electromagnetic field in your body. Your body's an electromagnetic field, but I'm talking scientifically, but I'm gonna, again, keep this on a layman's.
I'm not good at science.
No, actually, you were a science project, all right? So then from that, I also stayed in the entertainment business. I have a production company. I work at YouTube Space LA, where our production company, Bigger Picture Productions, works with Hyperloop and In the Light Productions. We curate YouTube channels and videos, and I started that when I was training to play Tupac and Tupac's life story. And with our channel, The Truth About Tupac, we have over 100 million views, 1 million subscribers. Did the voice for Tupac at Coachella for the hologram. Did Tupac's voiceover for NWA, Straight Outta Compton. And passed on the film. We're working on a TV series, what I'll talk about regarding Tupac. And reoccurring on Always Sunny in Philadelphia right now. And just thankful to be here with all of my friends, and that's my 20-year journey.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Sweet.
So basically just like sitting around eating bonbons. Natanya and I were also in the Babysitters Club together. If anyone knows that.
Yeah.
Which also had a 20-year, I don't know, we're old. I took some time off to go to school. Part of my experience actually being on the show was like being stressed out about SATs and getting into college. So I'm really glad and very lucky to have been able to go to the college of my dreams. And since then, yeah, I've been acting. It's what I do. It's like truly the only thing I really know how to do and I love, or that I love so much. It's the thing that gets me out of bed in the morning. I moved to New York. I live there. I work there. I am very lucky to be a working actor. And I just did a show off Broadway called Who's Your Bag Daddy?
Oh, wow, wonderful, yeah. All right, we'll keep it going, guys, with the third question here. Were you friends outside of the show?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I was telling Natanya, I was like, I think the last time I was at City Walk was with you. So we had a lot of like slumber parties together, and we were very close. I was incredibly close, but we all hung out. And like, I don't know if you know, we filmed in Valencia. So Magic Mountain was right there, and I don't know, I at least know one occasion where immediately after work we were like, roller coaster, and like got all of our energy out. I remember especially when Will joined the show, we went to Magic Mountain, so that was super fun. I was really close with Meredith, who played my sister. She was like a sister to me, but I'm an only child, and I'm always looking for family, and this cast and this crew that was together for 4 years was absolutely family, absolutely, 100%.
Absolutely. I remember seeing Larissa on Melrose, and we stopped traffic for like 10 minutes hugging. And but more importantly, again, Robin, aka Natanya Ross, the boss, was the glue to a lot of the teen celebrities. If you guys don't know, people would get together at Oakwood, and she would hang out with the Oakwood Apartments. What's up? What's up? Okay, y'all know about Oakwood. That was the hangout for everybody that was somebody that didn't want to be nobody. That's where you got to hang out. But long story short, Natanya would bring me over. I was like her security, best friend, black brother that was like, none of you guys can talk to her. She's my sister, hands off. She was a hottie. They had all of the girls, all of the high-end celebrity guys like Andrew Keegan that would hang out. So, yeah, you guys know. So I always stayed a friend with Natanya. It's always been a brother-sister thing. And I remember going into her house, and her mom was like, yeah, go hang out with my daughter. I was like, okay, I'm in your bedroom, I'm with your daughter, you trust me, right? Okay, so that gave me the respect and the pride of being her big brother, because once I saw that her mother, just let me into her home, accepted me as family, that's what it was like. Everybody on Alex Mack, to Todd Hilliard, who used to pick me up in Watts. Okay, is Todd in the audience? I heard he was in. Todd, can you please tell us about the time you picked me up late at night in Watts to go paintballing? How many times did you drop me off? And it was love. Todd had a cool car. I just didn't know if we were gonna make it from Valencia to Watts. So I was like, I'm down to roll with you in the bucket. But we made it, and we're here. And it was just moments like that to this day, it erases. It's about people. It's about energy. That's what it's about here in America. It's about people and it's about energy, all right? And that's what Alex Mack was, man. It was a family because of the energy and the people. And again, I want to say thank you all.
Yeah.
It's always hard to follow up after Darius. Oh my God. Yeah, man, we were all friends outside of the show. We really were. I had so many sleepovers with Alexis, and these people were part. These people were part of my childhood. Really, what molded me into who I am today. And like Darius was saying, he was absolutely my big brother outside of the show, and I drag him around everywhere to all the parties. And he was like, "Who are all these people?" And we had so much fun. And Larissa and I were super close too. And I was actually friends with Ben Smith since we were, 10 years old? Yeah, we did a commercial together when we were like 10 or 11. So I remember when he called me, he was like, I just got a part on Alex Mack. I was so excited because my buddy was coming on the show. And Jason, we were all close, And I was also really good friends with the adults on the show too. I was like a little mini adult from a very young age. So John and John, those were my best buds. I just loved hanging out with them so much, and Dorian and Michael. And yeah, we were all good friends. And you don't see that a lot on casts of shows like ours. And you hear all these horror stories about how everyone hated each other and everyone was just separate. And that wasn't us. We were together. Yeah. And actually a fun story too, the very first concert I ever went to was with Larissa, and we went to go see Real Big Fish, and my friend Jenna was there too, and so we went to go see Real Big Fish, and so the 90s.
Yeah. The 90s, so much fun. Yeah, so we did get a chance to hang out that way, and I was an actor in this area growing up, so I love like West Coast rap from the 90s. Is anybody West Coast rap fans from the 90s?
Yeah, you know it.
So one of my favorite things to do when we were out of the show was go and support my friend here, Darius Love. I would drive out to Watts. We would go to different places. I'm from Simi Valley area. Little white guy from Simi Valley, and I would then drive out to Watts, and I would just be like, I can't wait to go, and then I'm there at the event, and I'm like, whoa, am I at a pricing? Like, what's going on? But you know what? The love and the embrace. Like, Darius would reach out, hit me up. They knew that I was like there for him, and I was accepted in this culture, and I loved it. I mean, there was times that we would go out, and David Faustino was on a Married with Children. guys remember that show? And anyways, he had Ballistics nightclub there in off of Hollywood there. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio was there and Tobey Maguire. And one night we were all there, and it was just, it was a 16 to 21 or 22-year-old club, so there was no alcohol. But these guys rolled in, and they were there, and we had some kind of drinks. It wasn't alcoholic, but we were throwing these drinks, and there's like, yeah, let's do this, and it was Tupac. It was actually Tupac. So we actually had that moment. And for me, loving, West Coast hip hop and getting that chance to support Darius, like, that was a fun time for me. I was just like, what? So that was my story for that.
I can't remember one time I hung out with these kids. No, actually, I'm teasing you. I felt I was really like a mother figure. I felt like I was constantly making sure everybody was happy and fed and not working too hard. Meredith, Annie, and I spent a lot of time together, and John, the first play I produced. And then Meredith and I went on to work together. So I spent a lot of time with Meredith. I threw her sweet 16 or her 21st birthday party. Now, 20 years later, it's crazy. But yeah, I guess I spent a lot of time with the older people on the show, not so much the kids.
What's wrong with the kids? What was wrong with us?
Bunch of brats. Bunch of spoiled brats, let me tell you.
She might be right. She might be right. No, really quick from me, Natanya, she was absolutely the glue that held us together. I was always at her house. Her mom was the cool one. My mom was a little more strict. Her mom was lenient, so it was like, let's go to Natanya's house because I could have boys come. But anyway, I had the biggest crush on Darius's cousin, Joey. Oh my, do you remember that? I had like a huge crush. I think he was like 19 though, so he was like off limits, but whatever. But yeah, so I just remember us spending a lot of time. And I see Darius all the time. We've never really hung out, but I see Darius. And yeah, you have been to my mom's house. He's probably closer to my mom. Like I'm so low key, I'm chill. Like I'm at home. I don't go out like that.
Yeah, we were all friends, cast and crew, and those were big years for me. I was 14, 15, 16 working on the show. I was learning a lot about growing up, and some of those friendships have lasted with me all throughout my life since then. It was a big deal.
I played such a despicable character that nobody wanted to know me, and I kept my distance from the kids because I needed to scare them. So I hope that they wondered what they were going to get in the scene with me. And I really mean that. It was, when you're an adult on a children's show, which it really was, they were the star, we were relegated to their schools and their needs. And so as an adult, you got to get that stuff in one take. I mean, the film that they're going to burn is really on the young people. And I knew that, and that's where the money is, where it costs in a production, is the film. And so, to get it in one take, I left them alone, and I left them to wonder what was going to happen. And I enjoyed that. I'm an oldest boy of 6 children, so I knew what that was like to do that. But John and I knew each other from the theater, and John I found despicable, so we really didn't hang out, and it worked. It worked. It was good stuff, and it really wasn't about friends for me at that time. I was friends with Ken Lippman, the writer, but even that became estranged because of just the necessity of the professionalism that it took on the set. And these guys were the best. They were some of the best children ever that ever acted, and I really mean that. And so it was a very professional set.
All right.
I think
let's see. What? Oh, yeah, right. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to.
See, this is what happened on the show, too. I kind of somehow bridged, I think, the young kids and the adults. I was too immature to hang out with the adults, so they didn't want anything to do. And I was too old. It looked a little weird when I would try to hang out with the kids. So, but yeah, no, John and I knew each other socially, and so we'd bump into each other. But otherwise, yeah, the nature of this business is when you get an opportunity that we had where somebody said it earlier, and it's so true that to this day, it's probably the best set I was ever on, where everybody got along, and the tone is always set from above. And so Ken and Tommy and the various directors always kind of created a wonderful, just a mood on the set. But the nature of the business is you're always looking then for the next job, and then you move on to other shows, other movies with other crews and cast. But there's no question that this was a very special cast and crew, and seeing these people after 20 years is phenomenal for me. So, yeah.
Yes, put your hands together, everybody. All right, I got another question here for the cast. Would you guys reprise your role or the show?
I get to go first. It's so interesting. It's so interesting. No, I actually haven't given it that much thought. That would be interesting. I would love to work with these people again. I don't know. Did she take what was that thing? It wasn't a vaccine. What did we call it? The very, very last episode. What was it called? It was the antidote.
Right.
I mean, Tommy and I both know the answer to that. We have our version. I don't know. It'd be interesting to explore. To be discussed.
Would I reprise my role as Robin Russo on The Secret World of Alex Mack? I've been asked this question so many times in the last 20 years. When are we getting a reboot of this show? And so, yeah, my answer is yes. I would absolutely do it in a heartbeat, and I would be overjoyed to do it. If there's anyone in the audience listening right now, we're very interested in that. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So to bring back Scott Green with everyone. And, Jessica Alba played my girlfriend in the first season. You guys remember that?
Yes.
So that would just be so incredible to get that chance to do a reboot. And, what's so more important, I think, than anything is 20 years, that was 20 years ago. We had a female empowerment role, right? Which was so awesome for all the women that are here. So incredible, a female empowerment role, a female that had a best friend that was a guy, right? And diversity and ethnicity and everything, she didn't look at that. And that was just so amazing that, that character could be 20 years now teaching a whole new generation maybe, that everyone needs to be accepted, And I think that would be an amazing thing.
Okay, first.
Would you
wait.
reprise
Okay, go ahead.
Darius Love, a.k.a. Raymond Alvarado? Absolutely. I would not just reprise the role, I would reprise the show. I think right now, all of you guys are grown with us, right? So you always ask yourselves, what would Alex be doing right now, right? So you got the Marvel comics shows are out, all these different TV platforms and movies you've seen with superpowers. Don't you guys want to see an Alex Mack reboot as adults?
Yes.
I mean, how cool would that be, right? So not just Raymond Alvarado, but the whole show. So that's my answer.
I actually want to cap a little bit on what Jason was saying. Sorry, the question sort of threw me off. I have to say, just what you're, it's one of the only times in my life that I have felt so respected and heard and understood. And as for me too, I understand that, I am Alex Mack and I represent, but she was as important to me as the portrayal of her was to other people. She was a role model for me too, I think. Yeah. And exactly what you're saying, to have women at the forefront and to have a diverse cast, to the point that we never even talked about it. Yeah, it was never even spoken about. We lived in Paradise Valley where everyone got along. The bad guys were actual bad guys destroying the planet. Cool, but everyone else was in it together. And that to me was incredibly profound and very much ahead of its time, very idealistic. And very much swung the pendulum over, which hats off to everyone involved, to Tommy and to Ken and to Nickelodeon for being so supportive. And I'll now move it on.
And to build on what Larissa said, it was very prescient for its time, if you think about it. An evil corporation, dumping chemicals, female empowerment, evil CEO of the company. But yet it was like the Wonder Years and Bewitched got thrown together and they created a show, is the way I always thought of it. It was a very loving show. It was very whimsical. It had the scary parts to it. It had a great family dynamic and friendships here. But the only problem I have with the reboot, if I'm going to be Grandma Babby, it's not happening. I can't. I can't. I don't
have kids.
I can't be Grammy just yet. Yeah.
I don't know how to answer that question. I wasn't, as long as I didn't have to wear Birkenstocks and socks, because I had to wear Birkenstocks and socks in almost every episode.
Well, you're a designer now, so you get the design,
Well, I'm an
how you
interior
look.
designer. I don't do the clothes too much.
Oh,
but,
darn.
But Birkenstocks are not my dig. No disrespect to anybody that has on Birkenstocks right now. But yeah, I mean, I would do it to be a part of this again. I wasn't there for, I think, the last 2 seasons. I was there for the first 2. But yeah.
My reaction is similar to Larissa's. It wasn't something I'd given much thought to up until a few weeks ago. But it's really something having us all in one place for the first time in 20 years.
It's really like very palpable and very special. And
Yeah, so I mean, something I would certainly consider. Why not?
Thanks, Louis. I always thought that there should be a Vince Carter detective agency spinoff anyway. I really mean that. I still feel strongly about that today. But, it's funny how it's hard to answer that question about rebooting it because of the legal implications that go down with the show and contracts and money and the things that are involved behind that. It's like my contract, I came from the theater with the writer, and they were offering 5-year contracts, and I didn't want that. I was one of the older people on the show, and I fought hard. I wanted a 1-year contract because I kind of knew this would be successful. And it didn't come out that way, but I got 3 years out of the deal. And so after 3 years, they didn't want to meet my request, which wasn't that grand, but it was a request nonetheless. And so I didn't continue with the series after that. And that was hard. So I love how it's just hard to answer that question about rebooting without including your lawyers and your agents and everybody else on your show. That's why I've got him back here. He represents me, and he knows. He's whispering in my ear. But, to work with these people again would be magnificent. Magnificent. Just so much chemistry still here. I'm so impressed with them. For me to sit here and then see what were children now grown as adults and listening to them and really only following Larissa in the reviews that I would see in the theater and being very proud of her, and then that when you went back to school, I was proud of you then. But seeing them and hearing them now and listening to Darius, I want to vote for this guy for mayor. I think he should be a representative of the city. And I'm really, really impressed. I'm just super impressed. And I'd be in on it. I'd love to be in on it with these guys. We'd have fun, too. We'd have a lot of fun and entertain you. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of Dave visiting Vince in prison is really, I hadn't thought of that before, actually, but it's funny because there was a show when I was a kid called Gilligan's Island. I don't know. And not long before we did Alex Mack, they had done a reunion episode, except time hadn't moved on. And Gilligan was the same, except he had this long, stringy gray hair coming out of his little, and it scared the hell out of me, thinking, like, is that going to be Dave in, 20 years? So the idea of playing Dave, that character is phenomenal. I was completely adored Dave. But of course, I would love the idea of 20 years have passed and Dave has gone on. Maybe he still has his chimp roommate, but other than that, yeah, no, working with these guys again would anytime.
Okay, how you guys like the Q&A so far? No, it doesn't sound like it. How did you guys like the Q&A? All right. Larissa has something to say.
Oh, okay. Well, it is my great pleasure and distinction to be able to welcome to the stage Ken Lippman and Tommy Lynch, who are the head writer, co-creator, producer, and creator, respectively. And then Todd Hilliard, who was our... First, he started as a PA and then moved up to second, and oh my gosh.
Is the mic on now?
Hey there. I will say one thing I remember vividly about the very last day that we shot Alex Mack, which was, and I'm not just saying this in a nostalgic way, it was such a exceptional experience in every way. It was a real family. Everybody got along. We all felt we were doing something really special. And we did about 78 episodes, and I remember sitting on set at the lunch break of the last episode, and Tommy turning to me and saying, "You know, it will never be this good again in your career." I don't want to say he was right. He wasn't right, but not every show is like this in terms of the experience, in terms of the way people work together, in terms of just the positive vibe. And when we were first picked up to do the show, Nickelodeon wasn't a big thing, even cable TV wasn't a big thing, and we were able to sort of operate freely and to create something that hadn't really been done before. Everything had been sort of sitcoms for kids before this. So I take my hat off to all these people who really contributed to just an amazing professional experience.
It's a little overwhelming. You know, one of the proudest things of the show was, for me, was that I had mortgaged my house for the first 3 episodes and didn't have it quite, and I hadn't told my wife, and we got to finally work out with Hallmark. Remember that whole thing? So it was a little dangerous, but when it got going, I was very thrilled. The proudest thing of the show for me is how all of the people that worked on the show grew up and had fruitful careers and fruitful lives. You know, it wasn't just an experience of the show was great and fantastic, but look at them. They're all very cool people, you know? It's a cool thing. So.
I also like telling the story now. I work for Amazon Studios, and I take a lot of business meetings. So I'll interview people who are interested in doing shows with Amazon or people who want to work for Amazon. And I'll have a meeting in my office or out in the water garden, and people will be talking to me very seriously about their plans, their goals, why they want to work for Amazon, what's great about Amazon. And then almost invariably at the end of the meeting, as I'm saying goodbye to that person, he or she will stand up from their seat and say to me like, "And by the way, dude, I got to tell you, I IMDb'd you. Alex Mack was my thing, man. Thank you so much." And they go from being very professional to being a fanboy, and I never get tired of that. So it's awesome.
I got woken up every morning for 4 years by somebody that told me the day's shoot was impossible. And that was Todd Hilliard. And I just want to set him up. He was our AD, and every day he'd say, "What are you guys doing?" Ken and I would turn out scripts or whatever we were doing. He'd go, "What are we doing?" And we'd just go, "It'll be fine, it'll be fine." And Todd, it wouldn't happen without you. Larissa, the daughter I never had, I think. And all of you, it was just a fantastic experience. And you guys humble both Ken and I, Jason, for putting this whole thing together. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
And just real quick, got it?
Yeah, we're good.
Real quick before we wrap up, I want to tell a really special story. Jason, are you okay?
We're good.
So 20 years ago, when we were filming this show, we had a very special fan reach out to us from Make-A-Wish Foundation. and her name is Laura.
Yes. And she's here.
And
She's here with us.
Her dream was to come on set and film a couple scenes of The Secret World of Alex Mack, and she did that. And she came all the way out here today.
Yes.
And we want to say hi, Laura.
And thank you.
Thank you.
We love you so much.
We love you. Thank you for sticking with us this whole time.
Yes, and reaching out to us on social media and getting that chance to have you guys come out. So we love you and all of you. So we're gonna
and now, but more importantly, we're gonna do the honors and let you ask a question from the fans or make a statement. We're gonna give you a mic and honor you and put the cameras on you.
Yeah.
Because dreams do come true, and because of you, we are here. Anything you want to ask us, anything you want to say about that experience, please give us the honor.
I actually really want to say thank you to Tommy Lynch because he put 10-year-old me behind the camera and let me film 2 scenes of the show. I filmed this scene with Larissa and Darius walking down the steps. And I can't remember the other scene, but I'm disabled and I don't see a lot of people like me on television or writers behind the scenes. And I speak all over the country and all over California about disability representation in the media. And I always talk about the experience of going on the set and meeting Larissa, and the time I spent with all of you was so special to me, and I want to be a TV writer because of all of you. And I want Larissa to, and I might embarrass Larissa a little bit, but I'm a PhD student right now, and I want her to come read my TV pilot dissertation for me. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I know. But it was just very special to me, and that's what I remember, because that's what dreams are all about, you know. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
God bless you.
What a loving person, and your mom for being here.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Love you guys. Love you guys so much. That's Secret World of Alex Mack. That heart is literally what this show is all about and means. There's also really another great fan here too. We could give the microphone to you as well. You could get a chance to ask as well. Thank you for coming out, brother.
Oh my God, thank you. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Oh my God, I watch the show religiously, and I'm one of those kids that just didn't stop watching the show. I still watch the show. I just want to know, what did you guys keep anything from the show? Like any souvenir? Oh my God.
There's crew jackets that are still floating around originally from the rap party. We got the hat. There's actually one of the photographers here. You see the Alex Mack shirt if she comes on stage. You can get that. You can see a lot of memorabilia. There were books that were made with Larissa's beautiful face on it. It should be the official Alex Mack hat coming out soon. Yes, John? Yes, sir.
I have Dave's whole uniform, which I keep thinking I'm going to throw out, but I just can't do it.
You know, Jason, also one last special guest, but more importantly, Natanya, if you could do the honors. He's right here hiding, very modest, but...
I will, so I'll tell the story really quick. So I was on Facebook one day, and somebody had made a post about Boy Meets World, actually, which Larissa and I were both also on. Yes, and so as a joke, I kind of wrote back, and him and I started a friendship, and he asked me if the cast of The Secret World of Alex Mack had ever thought about doing a reunion, and we hadn't been approached about it, so I said, that is really interesting, and on a Sunday afternoon, I somehow got Darius, Jason, and Ben to come meet me somewhere in the valley, and we ended up sitting there for 5 hours, just overjoyed to be together, and from that, we did this somehow. I don't know how we did it, so I just want to say hi to John and tell John, thank you so much for springboarding this idea. Yeah. See if you want to say anything about the show.
As I make the rounds here. Thanks, John. I'm feeling very, thank you guys. Thank you guys. This is kind of, you know, I don't think your comment about Boy Meets World, though, I don't think you were kidding. I'm not. No, because I remember the turnaround episode, so I totally know. I'm gonna sit in your chair. If that's okay. Just so I feel like part of the crew. I don't have much to say. It's just I'm a very nostalgic kind of guy, and I'll post all sorts of random stuff. There's children here. I almost, but a lot of random stuff on my Facebook, and Tanya caught one of them. She's like, the turnaround episode in Boy Meets World is great. I'm like, yeah. I put hashtag Team Ingrid. And she's probably like, oh my God, who's this guy that actually knows my character on Boy Meets World? And I didn't know how she would react, and now you guys are here. And I'm just going to put it out there. I think there should be a continuation of the series. I mean, look, Fuller House is they're killing it on Netflix. You got a guy that works at Amazon over here, so I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Look, none of them can say it, but I can be the guy to be awkward and be like, and just put it out there. But thank you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to wrap
We want to wrap it up. We're going to first and foremost say thank you to our beautiful, beautiful host,
Yes.
Angelique Bates, and more
Thank you.
importantly, Devontae. This is our family and friends for years. As you guys know, she was on a very famous show on Nickelodeon that came on right before or after Alex Mack. All of that. Angelique Bates, let's give a big, big round of applause for her. And Devontae, very famous music group. You've seen them on many TV shows, different things. We really appreciate you guys. They stood behind us to come host this. It is for you all. We're going to wrap it out. In the Light Productions presents the 20-year reunion and return of Alex Mack. And thanks to all of you standing here for 2 hours on your feet. You could be watching the playoff games. You could be hanging out at Universal Studios eating, but you're here with us. And more importantly, to the creators, Mr. Tommy Lynch, Ken Lippman, Todd Hilliard, a.k.a. Kenny Knuckles. We're coming for you at Amazon, brother. All right, Natanya Ross, the boss, executive, Mr. Jason Strickland in the Light Productions, Joy Lapino, let's bend, and more importantly to the beautiful Alexis, John, I love you guys, and
love you, Dares.
Let's do this.
Yeah,
All right?
Dares
They want it.
love.
Let's do
Dares
it.
love, too.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you. So a lot of the fans kind of stuck around. I know there's some memorabilia. You'd like to have a sign. We'll come down and see you
And
for
if
sure.
everybody can move forward, we're going to do a picture with
Yeah.
us standing with you in the background. If you can move a little forward.
Yeah.
The photographer just asked for that. Maybe we'll step one down.
Yeah, one
And
down.
the whole cast in the order that we were in.
Okay.
From left to right, the executive producers as well. Larissa, I got you, sweetie. You got it. All right. We're gonna stand on this. We're gonna stand on this level, and then if you can move forward, very special picture for us all. If you guys like to be in it,
Yes.
Perfect.
Beautiful fans.
perfect.
Oh my God. I've seen Mary Jo.
Okay, she's setting the lens up. We're ready when you are. Everybody, you guys ready? All right, beautiful people. 1, 2, 3. Couple more shots. Devontae. Join us on this. Angelique. Join us on one end. There you go. Step forward, sweetheart. That is a wrap, everybody. Thank you to Universal Studios, City Walk. Big, big shout out to Mario and the crew here.
Yes.
They made this happen an amazing time, an amazing cost. And
Yes.
thank you all again. We appreciate you. If you can hashtag the 90s are back, the return of Alex Mack on your phones, on any pictures, we appreciate that. Again, everybody have a blessed weekend. And thank you again for coming out.
Yeah. We'll come down and say.